Zwift has added bots, or rather brought bots back. In the early days, Zwift had some bots before there were so many people on the platform, and now they've brought them back. They're calling them pace partners. So I just wanted to compare that to the way that bots are working on RGT right now. These pace partners, you can see one right here, and how you can tell who's a pace partner and who's not is that glowing translucent person in this group is the pace partner. How they work on Zwift is basically there are two pace partners currently running at any given time, and they could change this. They could add more. I think they probably will. But at the moment, there are two pace partners running at any given time. Each of them is just doing the same route over and over in loops. They're holding a very steady pace, and you can just drop in with them. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But basically, it creates this roving group ride, which is basically just people who have chosen to ride with the pace partner. So once you get in with the pace partner, I could drop off the back or go off the front, and we're just out in Wattopia right now. You can still see all the other riders. It's not a private event like some group rides are. So let's say you want to ride with one of these Zwift pace partners. On the world selection screen at the beginning, you actually have to go over to Wattopia right now because the pace partners are only riding in Wattopia. You see two of them here, and this gives you both of them, lets you know how fast they're riding. You got Amelia, who's doing 4 to 5 watts per kilo, and Coco Cadence, who's doing 2.5 to 3.1, which sounds a little bit more up my alley right now. There are two other ones that one goes slower than Coco Cadence, and then there's one that's in the middle there, and each of them is their own color. You'll see Coco is in blue. At the moment, they're rotating them off on a once a day basis, which ones are riding. So they're kind of constantly rotating. There's always two. When one comes off, another one goes on. But I don't want to dwell on that too much because they could change it at any point. And again, I think they will. So after you choose to ride with a pace partner, it just kind of drops you in at speed like it did with me right there. And I've got the Sturzo on, so you can see I'm kind of choosing my lane a little bit and choosing to get right in front of the group so that they'll kind of subsume me. And there's Coco right there, the glowing blue translucent rider. And really, Coco's just setting the pace. You can see there's just a group surrounding her, and people will drop in and drop out at will. And basically the use cases for this are maybe warming up for a race. Maybe there's not a group ride that's the exact length or start time that you want. So you can kind of just drop in and drop out. And this one is always going. But you really only have two pace partner options at any given time, and they're only riding the courses they're riding. So if I didn't want to ride Tempest Fugit, or I believe that Amelia was riding something in the Titans Grove area, something really punchy. If I didn't want to ride either of those routes, or I was after a specific badge or something, I'd kind of be out of luck. Swapping over to RGT here, the first thing I want to show is what you can do on the free version of RGT. So on RGT, I'm actually using my companion app to choose what's going on, and I'm just going to the real road courses here and flipping through. But one major difference is that all of the real road courses constantly have bots riding on them, so I don't have to go searching for a bot. The bots are just out there, and I figured that Canary Wharf Crit course is probably a good bet because it's a short loop, and I can just catch the bots as they're coming around. So here we are on Canary Wharf, and you can see there are several bots listed on the left side over there. So everyone who has the little RGT logo next to their name, those are bots. And they're riding at a consistent wattage. So as you go down the list there, you can see we've got Jada riding at 2, we've got Dana riding at 3.4. Their wattages are pretty consistent, but what I'm going to do here is find one I want to ride with and just kind of sit up and wait for them to come to me. So I'm messing with my companion app right here to hit the look back button so I can see them coming up and kind of kick the pace up so I can get on the wheel. You can draft the bots. Obviously, that's the kind of the point of the bots, is to give you someone to draft and someone to pace off of. So I've just latched on to Brock here. I'm drafting him. And you can also draft the bots on Zwift. That's another part of the whole pace partner thing. So this is what you can do with bots on the free version of RGT. There's kind of some roving around on every course at all times, and you can just kind of find one and jump in with them. Now, there are way more bots on way more courses on RGT, and a few less users overall also. So you don't get that sort of roving group ride effect on RGT that you get on Zwift, But what you do get is more opportunity to ride with a bot that's going the exact pace you want on the exact course you want. And again, this is on the free version of RGT. So if you're on the free membership, they basically rotate in 3 or 4 courses that you can ride at any given time, and you can just free ride on those at your own will. If you have a premium account, not only can you ride any of the real road courses, you can also create your own courses from GPX files, which I will not get into in this video. I got a whole other video on Magic Roads 2 is what that's called. So this is pretty much the extent of the bots on Zwift. You basically have 2 roving group rides that you have an option to join and drop out from whenever you want. They're kind of always going on, and because they've limited it to just the 2 pace partners across all of Zwift, there's pretty much always a good group riding with them. So the Zwift pace partners offer you this sort of group ride feel that you don't necessarily get with the bots on the free version of RGT. Every now and then you'll see a few of them grouped up, or you see a few real people riding with one bot, but it's not a constant thing that you can sort of always rely on like it is in Zwift. Now, what this doesn't give you in Zwift is a great deal of customization. Even on the free version of RGT, you can pretty much find a bot that's riding the exact pace you want to ride, and you can find one on any course you want to ride at any time. The premium version of RGT takes that customization to another level. With premium RGT, you can set up events. You can set them up either as group rides or as races. The main difference is just that races give you a results sheet. And with a premium account, you can set these events up on any of the real road courses in RGT or make your own Magic Roads courses. And I'm not going to go through the whole setup process here because I've done that in my Magic Roads video, which I'll link to at the end of this. But when you set up an event, you can choose any number of bots from 1 to 100. You can set their wattages however you want, and then you can choose the distribution of those wattages, meaning you can have them sort of randomly assorted within the category you've chosen, or you can have them more uniform distribution. So I think I've chosen about 20 or 30 bots here, and I kind of set their wattages to be right around my FTP, so it's going to create some small groups on the road that are going to be riding hard. And I set a pretty wide range for this one so that the race would string out and break up a little bit, just because that makes it more interesting for me to kind of try to jump across groups. But you can set that up however you want, and that's sort of the customization I was talking about earlier. That's really what a premium RGT account gets you. You can use any course, any number of bots, and you could even invite real people to these rides too, so you can do a mixture if you wanted to get your club team out and then also put 10, 20 more bots in there to pace you so that none of you guys have to take pulls. Or maybe you want to try to get your own breakaway going and set the bots. Say you want to set the bots at 3.5 watts a kilo and see if you guys can attack and stay away. That's also something you can do. You could set 100 bots to ride at the same pace. You could set them 1 to 5 watts a kilo and then put random distribution and basically have a Gran Fondo on your hands. You can also set the distance and duration to whatever you want it to be within reason. I believe there's a 3-hour limit on Magic Roads, and I'm not sure if that applies to the real road courses as well. But I have seen people do things where they've taken a longer event and basically broken it down into chunks and put them on Magic Roads that they could do in under that time limit. So doing a longer event as a series of Magic Roads, which is pretty cool. And you can see right here, I'm chasing this little group. The bots do also draft each other, so it's fun to see how the groups sort of form and break up, and it gives a really realistic feeling, and you can kind of set this to be whatever feel you want. So that's bots on RGT versus pace partners on Zwift. I'm interested to see what Zwift does with the pace partners. It seems like they're really popular, and I can see a lot more functionality being useful with them. But I also think the RGT bots are really fun too. It's been super fun to just set up races with bots whenever I want on courses that I want to race on and not have to worry about when the event is or who's going to show up. And it's a good way to get training and sort of have like carrots to chase to give you good hard effort. I'll throw that Magic Roads video up right here just in case you guys want to see how to set up one of these bot events up on RGT. And drop any other questions you have in the comments. I think I answered everything I could think of, but let me know if there's anything else you guys want to know about either the pace partners or the bots on RGT. Thanks.